Hi, it's Chris Young, live from the floor of the International Fastener Expo in Las Vegas. And now, back to the Fastener TV studios, it's In the News.
Thank you, Chris. I'm Lisa Kleinhandler, Editor-in-Chief at Fastener News Desk. It's In the News the week of October 17th, 2022. Here's what's happening in the fastener industry this week. This episode of FND's In the News is dedicated to the International Fastener Expo that began in Las Vegas today. The IFE is North America's largest B2B expo for fasteners and tooling and machinery in North America. With more than 450 exhibitors eager to connect with attendees from all areas of the fastener supply chain, including distributors, manufacturers, importers, engineers, and sales reps. Happy Monday. Let's get right to the IFE schedule, which began this morning with the sold-out IFE Third Annual Golf Tournament at the Bali Hai Golf Club. Fastener friends gathered to tee off and win fantastic prizes. Could there be a better place to drive business than the golf course? Also starting this morning from 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. is the Fastener Class, how fasteners are made and what drives the cost of a fastener. The all-day class is presented by the Fastener Training Institute with fastener expert Laurence Claus. He'll take participants into the fastener manufacturing world and explore why the often underappreciated components are complex engineering marvels. This evening is the official kickoff of the International Fastener Expo. Join the IFE and Fastener Industry friends at the always well-attended welcome reception party from 6 to 8 p.m. at the Daylight Pool at Mandalay Bay for a fun night of networking, appetizers, and drinks. And Tuesday, October 18th, it's Rise and Shine in sunny Las Vegas. Starting at 8:30 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. will be the first ever IFE keynote presentation. Hear from Dirk Beveridge. Dirk is a leading advocate of change and innovation in distribution. As one of the country's most outstanding speakers, he delivers a new voice, a new energy, and a new outlook. Dirk will deliver his session, Innovate, How to Create Relevancy in the Age of Disruption. In the keynote presentation, Dirk will examine how to construct a vision that becomes a unifying force for change, how to develop a culture of innovation and excellence, how to distinguish your business through an innovative value proposition, how to examine your business model relevance, and how to identify leadership readiness along the spectrum of distributors. Make sure to get to meeting room Jasmine E, F, and G early to make sure to save your space for the keynote presentation. Directly after the keynote at 9:30 a.m., the International Fastener Expo Hall will officially open doors. Be sure to be on the lookout for Fastener News Desk as they scope the expo floor for the 2022 Best Booth Award winners. The IFE will offer excellent educational tracks at Sessions Stage on the expo floor. The sessions get underway at 10 a.m. The first session is You Can't Buy These at the Hardware Store, a primer on what sets aerospace fasteners apart from other fastener market segments. That happens at 10 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. with speaker Laurence Claus of NNi Training and Consulting. He'll introduce some of the fastening technology unique to aerospace fasteners. He'll also introduce different categories of aerospace fasteners. And at 10:45 to 11:30 a.m., why 3D printing will have an impact on fasteners. Hear from speaker AJ Strangquist with the Worth Additive Group. He'll explain how 3D printing presents obstacles and opportunities in the world of fasteners, both their consumption and production. It's happening already in some upscale markets, but as the technology becomes more effective, its impact will grow. From 1 to 1:30 p.m. is Boosting Automation and Productivity, everything you need to know about APIs and integration. If your goal is to streamline internal processes and minimize wasted labor, this session and the panel will explain how APIs enable new features in ERP and legacy systems and discuss how businesses in the fastener industry are leveraging these new technologies to work smarter. Hear from speaker panelists Lonni Kieffer of SmartCert by Aramid, Brandi Bertoia of INxSQL Software, and Burel of Advanced Components. And then from 1:45 p.m. to 2:30 p.m. is the 5 ideals of the e-commerce experience. Hear from speaker Jason Hein of Bloomreach. He'll detail how the first 20 years of B2B e-commerce have primarily focused on one element, standing up the store. As technologies have gotten easier to use, launching an e-commerce site has become almost standardized. Out-of-the-box solutions and API-driven headless architecture have simplified the process of starting a B2B commerce website easier than it's ever been. But now what? It's no longer enough to simply be online when it's so easy for your competition to also be online. Simply existing isn't enough. Companies have to raise the bar to offer a customer experience that stands out for B2B buyers. And be sure to be at the IFE Hall of Fame and Young Fastener Professional Award ceremony that will take place on Tuesday, October 18th, also from 3 to 4 p.m. at Session Stage. Join the fastener industry in congratulating this year's inductees of the prestigious IFE Hall of Fame and Young Fastener Professional Awards. Congratulations go out to Young Fastener Professional of the Year Award winner Brian Wheeler of Star Stainless Screw Company. And the Fastener Hall of Famers this year are Andy Cohn of Duncan Bolt, Rick Rudolph of Rick Rudolph Associates, Tim Malone of Spring Bolt and Nut Manufacturing, and Joseph Voltrauer of Volt Plastics. The recipients will be recognized at the IFE Award ceremony. Be sure to be at Session Stage by 3 p.m. to reserve your seat. And a big shout out goes out to all the 2022 IFE exhibitors. Fastener News Desk Best Booth Awards are back. We're on the expo floor scouting for the 2022 Best Booth Award winners. IFE will be sponsoring the awesome Best Booth Awards from Trophy Smack. We are so excited to be back in person. We plan to immortalize your hard-earned victory with a professional-grade championship belt. This year, the overall Best Booth Award winner will claim the Best Booth Award's first ever customized championship belt. We can't wait to see your booth design and creativity in Las Vegas. Who will claim the Best Booth Award title this year? Wednesday, October 19th, 9:30 a.m., the IFE Expo Hall opens. Educational tracks begin at Session Stage with 5 key considerations for selecting a fastener manufacturer or distributor. That's happening at 9:45 a.m. to 10:15 a.m. The speaker is Paul Przyby, Senior Vice President of Sales and Marketing with Optimas Solutions. His session will focus on what OEMs and distributors should be asking of their supply partners and how a tightly bound cooperative relationship delivers supply chain confidence and assurance for each participant. 5 key considerations for selecting a fastener manufacturer or distributors are risk reduction, inventory optimization, elevating operations, improving quality, electrification, and environmental considerations. And at 10:30 a.m. to 11 is how distributors win the war against inflation. Hear from speaker Nelson Valderrama of Intualize. He'll explain with inflation that's on the rise, it can be difficult for businesses to keep up. In this session, he'll discuss the factors contributing to increased inflation and how to protect your margins in a volatile market. He'll explore best practices in pricing and cost pass through to defeat inflation and grow margins. Join Nelson for an informative session that will help you stay ahead of the curve. At 11:15 a.m. to 12 p.m. is What's Working Best for Younger Generations. The Young Fastener Professionals Association will invite you to join a panel program discussing the next generation. The panelist will dive into best practices for managing, motivating, and interacting with young employees and colleagues. There will be a moderated discussion followed by time for questions. The moderator is Mallory Cravens, Nichols of Advanced Components, and panelist Tim Vath of Solution Industries, George Hunt of Brighton-Best International, and Jake Glazer of Sherrick's Fastening Solutions. At 3:30 p.m., the IFE Expo 2022 hall officially closes until next year's International Fastener Expo, which is already scheduled for October 9th through the 11th of 2023. Share your pictures and get in the conversation using hashtag IFE 2022 in the Twitter feed at Fastener News and on LinkedIn in the Fastener News group. If you'd like to share your company's news or events or sponsor an upcoming episode of In the News, or you'd like to add to the Fastener Museum, contact me, Lisa at FastenerNewsDesk.com. Thanks for tuning in to this week's episode of In the News with Fastener News Desk. Have a great time in Las Vegas at the International Fastener Expo. Until next week, be well, be safe, and keep it fastening.